Okay, meeting is called to order. Roll call, please.
Emmanuel Soldi, Chief Manager.
John Boyd, Treasurer.
John Romero, attorney.
Louis Annapolis, President, accounted for.
Benny Alvarez.
Denise Miller, Chair.
Juan Mata. Bruno Naranjo.
To the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Introduction of the new board members. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Juan Mata. I'm on seat number 5. I've lived in Montura for about 12 years. Worked for the Summer Tribe of Florida for about 13 years. I'm the plant operations manager. I oversee all public works, water, wastewater, our infrastructure, lift stations, involved in roadway, and I'm here to assist, be a part of the solution, and help Montura be a better place.
Thank you.
My name is Benny Alvarez. That's all I got to say.
So you have to say?
That's it.
Okay.
Everybody knows.
All right, let's go to the meeting agenda. Are there any additions, deletions, and substitution of the agenda items? None? Okay. Motion to adopt the agenda? Anyone?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All ayes. Approval of regular meeting minutes, September 26, 2018.
And October.
And October?
Do all at
October what? Give me the date.
once. October 20th.
October 20th,
And then-
2018.
And the landowners meeting also of October 20th.
And the landowners meeting of October 20th also.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I second.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All ayes. Public comment, if anybody has a public comment to make, please bring the slip up. You have any? No? Thank you. Staff reports, are we doing that first? We're following this?
Yes.
District manager's report.
Throughout the rest of October and beginning of November, we finally caught up with the mowing. We're still working hard on repairing all the dirt roads and the pavement roads. There's a lot to do on that. We just finished cleaning the reservoir, and we are currently working on cleaning all the canals and covers throughout Montura. Also, all the pump station roofs are finally done. All of them have their roof. We did a preventative maintenance of every pump. We were working with 2 rentals, tractor and excavators. Boom mower is still not working. We are almost caught up with all the street signs, stop signs, buses, everything. We did a pickup trash all around Montura, which it took us about 2 days and 2 employees, and the diesel and whatever. We're still waiting for the bill on the dumpster, and we still got another dumpster that we have to fill up with all the garbage. The other important thing is Jennifer from for the
Soul
FEMA,
Circle.
yes. it's taking a lot of time out of our office, with a lot of information that we literally have to be digging out from papers and bolses and everything. So it's taking a lot of time.
This is the FEMA
Yeah, the FEMA.
reimbursement.
Yeah, so, even after hours, so we can complete it. And every time we think we're done, a big list coming to the email again, so. That's it, that's everything.
I wanted to ask you, how is the garbage situation? You said you filled up a dumpster?
We did one dumpster, we already sent it, and we just have another one to start filling them up again.
Is that in reference to illegal dumping?
Yes,
Illegal dumping,
yes.
and your men are picking it up. But is it better from the beginning? I would say a month and a half ago, 2 months ago,
No,
when
we
it first
already-
installed.
We already have to go through Montura again.
So there's been no improvement yet of people not dumping.
No, it hasn't been any.
Okay, well,
We did it for 2 days and we gotta go and do it again because roads and ditches are our responsibility, and I believe if it's our responsibility and somebody have an accident with any of that garbage anywhere, it's gonna come back to us, so we have to pick them up.
well, I didn't expect it to get any, perfect in 2 months or 3 months. Because this has been going on for years, that we've been paying for the dumpsters, so I think we need to give it more time. I don't know if
Well,
there's any
I'm
other-
just saying that it's
Yeah,
costing money and time, just so you got it in mind.
I'm sure it is. All right, we'll come back to it and see what could be done. Thank you.
Terry, has anybody called the county to see if they're getting pickups in the right schedule and they're actually doing solid waste pickup?
Well, we have a feedback from some residents, and they say they've been calling the Hendrick County. And they keep saying that they will pick them up, but garbage is appears everywhere, half a car. I mean, we even called the police. We went back to Perimetro and Lindero. Somebody dumped a car on parts with the VIN number and everything. We called the police, went over there, and they said they can do nothing about it.
Well, even if they had dumped that in our dumpsters, that wasn't acceptable.
No, that's not the point. The point is that it's in the middle of the road.
Oh, that's in the middle of the
Yes.
road. Okay.
So we have to pick it
Oh,
up.
you had to move
There
it.
one row was blocked,
Yeah.
Okay.
because of the traffic, they all get through. There was that much traffic.
Yeah.
We'll keep on trying, or maybe get ideas from other counties or other small places like Montoya. Thank you. Mr. Bennett is not here today?
I sent you that email excusing him. He could excuse it himself when I sent him his report.
So, should I read it, or there's nothing here that? Right. Okay, monthly report covers the period from October 21st, 2018 to November 1st. FEMA, Irma damages, we are continuing to provide information regarding our claim. SFWMD, we are working with SFWMD to get our completed reservoir certified. Hacienda del Sur project, we are revising our plan and bid documents to reflect the addition of Del Club to the project. That is all he had. Okay. Treasurer,
Okay. For the month of October, we dispersed $106,571.91. We transferred $100,000 from our Seacoast Bank to the operating account. Shows our total taxes receivable, including the current year that we just assessed, it would be $2,358,787.77. turn the page, there's not much showing this month because we haven't got any tax revenue yet. So October, you don't have any tax revenue, it doesn't come into November. So basically, it just shows our total assessment there. No collections yet. This is where usually, if y'all have any questions.
Any questions from the supervisors? Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Okay. Mr. Fumero, I think you're next.
I apologize, I got back from a cruise last night, I got a little bit of a cold. Most of my items are coming up on the agenda, which would be to go over the proposed district manager agreement. I'm going to spend some time talking about, as we all know, the election and the process for the election and the outcome of the research I have done, which is a fairly involved discussion, so I'll wait till we get to it on the agenda. And I'll just point out that we're gonna have two discussions. One is what we do now in light of some of the things I'm gonna discuss. The second conversation is the future. I can tell you, having looked and spent a considerable amount of time over the last few weeks, there are a number of things that I'm gonna strongly recommend that the district change in terms of the election process, everything from how the ballots are written, to make sure, like for example, it's hard to connect a person to a ballot because there are no names on the ballots. And so little things like that, all the way to dealing with the issue over absentee ballots, which I'll address. So there's a lot in terms of the future and avoiding problems that I think can be avoided if we set the rules now so that everyone can know what they are in the future. The next item on my report is the RFP, and originally I was gonna, as one of this agenda items, I was gonna present to you the RFP for the road paving. But now that RFP, as you heard from the district engineer's report, is being changed because we're adding an additional road segment to the RFP. So we're gonna defer that discussion to the next board meeting. That's the resurfacing. And then the final item is new board member orientation. So that's when, as many of you will recall, I will set up a time to meet with you individually. And this is for all board members. I can do an overview of the Florida Sunshine Law, Public Records Law, and Ethics Law. Those are the kind of the ABCs of being an elected official, so I can go over that with you. If someone wants a refresher, I'm happy to schedule a call or a meeting with you to go over those three areas or anything else you would like to discuss.
And that's at the next meeting or this meeting?
So that's really, it's up to how you want to handle it. I can stand here and do a presentation with handouts to to all of you at once, or I can do it one-on-one, whatever you all prefer. Okay. All right. And that's it. The other items we're going to address here coming up on the agenda.
Can I ask you a question? In reference to the RFP for next month, are you presented to the board for the first time so we can start looking it over, or are you asking us to look it over to make a decision?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to get with the district engineer, but my goal is to get this to you at least a week more before the next meeting, so you can actually review the RFP, the whole RFP and the specs, so that we can talk about it at the meeting.
So what if we have questions on the scope of work and certain things that are not in there or should be added or taken away?
So questions regarding the specs
Yes.
should go to the district engineer, because he wrote the specs.
Right.
I write the RFP process.
Understood.
So if you have questions about the rating, how many points you
Right.
give somebody for being located in Hendry County, things like that, I can address the process.
Correct.
But the actual road specs would be the district engineer.
So all those questions will be answered before the next meeting?
Yeah, ideally, like I said, as soon as I get the info from him, I will distribute it to all the board members, the whole RFP package.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be, about 15, 20 pages. And then so that if you have questions, you can call one of us, or we can talk about it at the meeting and finalize it and get it out on the street.
Understood. Thank you.
Clubhouse report?
Clubhouse is doing fine. The Halloween party was really good. Pool is already closed until next year on March. The more important part is the Christmas party is on the 15th. Everybody's invited, so it's already been put out, the signs and everything. It's gonna be a lot of fun, just like every year. That's it, everything else is good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Yeah, we got Santa and everything.
let's go to Board of Supervisors report. Supervisor Annapolis?
The attorney already addressed what I was gonna ask, so I'm gonna let him do his thing. If I have any questions, then I will let the attorney proceed.
Thank you. Supervisor Mata?
Yes, good evening, thank you. Just a few things. I was looking over the master plan that was done in 2011, 2012 by Rock Enterprises. And it talks about a lot of things that should have been done way back when. And I also went over the engineer's report in the last meeting that was presented October 20th, 2018. There's still a lot of things in our engineer's report that still came up on the master plan in 2011, 2012. So with that being said, one of the things that was critical in 2012 and is still critical in 2018, I'd like the board of supervisors to approve that we start working now on the Woodlands area, removing culverts and drainage culverts. And I think there are 11 of them, if I'm not mistaken, that need to be replaced during dry season, which is a good time so we can prepare and be ready for next season so it doesn't catch us unaware.
If you remember, I addressed that a couple of months ago.
Yes, ma'am. But I want approval from the board so we can push that project, whether it be we do some in-house, we put an RFP to have it done. If we do an RFP, you know that's going to be quite costly. So I don't know how we want to attack this, but I don't want to lose this momentum and capture it now that we're in dry season.
So moved.
Can we do it in-house
I was,
before we move on?
Understood.
we have a meeting with the engineer in the office, and he says it would take a lot of time and a lot of manpower. He says that we better contract that part. I told him we can do it, but we gotta take it one by one, because we still have to keep up with everything else. So, yeah, we can do it in-house, it's gonna take a little more time.
Was that a recent meeting you had with him? To
I'm sorry?
discuss this? Was that meeting recently to discuss this, or you just found
About a week ago,
about a week ago?
yes.
Finally.
And keep in mind too, you can do, if you do an RFP
Yes, sir.
and you get the bids in and they're like
Haha.
off the, you can reject all bids, you don't have to go forward. So
Exactly.
remember, and sometimes when you go through that process, you get ideas like maybe to break it up into 2 parts or 3 parts. I don't know where the culverts are, but, sometimes if you talk to these contractors, they'll give you an idea of, if you can break it up, because we have the budget for it,
Phases.
make sure we have the funds, but, an RFP can, sometimes you can feel out what the prices are in an RFP.
Yeah,
You can
actually, he
informally,
did,
too, by the way, you can informally call a contractor.
yeah, actually, he did mention that part. He says we can, put it out there, see what the cost is, and then take it from there. If it's too much, so we decide to do it in-house, or,
So what about a good idea is to propose that we get some RFPs, some good vendors, some good underground utility contractors that can do that type of work that are licensed and bonded, insured, and we get some prices, then we can come back and say, hey, that looks good, go, or nay, or we do something creative, maybe half and half.
I agree with you. So moved. I second.
Second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Okay, yes.
Supervisor Mata,
Yes, sir.
I have a request.
Yes, sir.
Being that you have so many vendors available to your neck of the woods,
How many you need?
right, that's what I'm saying. Would it be proper for us to request a list of vendors of what you have so the manager can have?
There's ton in this area. There's tons of underground utility contractors. There's three major contractors right now in Immokalee doing underground utility. There's tons of them. You've got guys out of Belgrade, you've got guys out of South Bay, you've got,
So you
Companies out
you don't mind assisting the manager
Not a problem at all.
when he has a request?
not a problem at all.
So if you have a need for a vendor of any specific thing, he's got the contact.
Thank you. Yeah, he
Thank you.
already come to the office and offered.
All right.
Okay, let's move on.
Then also in the same, no, it's okay, in the same report, from 2012 even to the engineer's report, the clubhouse pool, the concrete, it's called out that it's unsafe and needs to be repaired. I just want to make a motion that we look into it and get it repaired for somebody gets hurt, and we don't, responsible for somebody's injury.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Those in favor?
Didn't we repair that?
4 years ago, Juan and me looked through, we got a lot of bids, and the whole price for the pool itself and the whole deck, the whole concrete deck was $74,000. That wasn't approved at that time. The board only approved $24,000 to fix the pool itself, inside.
How long was that?
4 years ago.
4
Like
years ago.
4 years
So we spent 24,000 4 years ago,
In the pool.
and we're looking at that again?
in the, no,
No,
in the pool.
In the
To
pool.
fix the pool itself,
Pool's inside.
inside,
Now it's
So it's the deck.
yes.
Now you want the deck.
Okay.
Not the deck. We've been fixing the deck,
So what does it need?
but last year, I've been told by the inspector, he says, I've been letting it go, and you guys have done anything. So he basically said, one day, I'm not gonna let it go anymore, and the pool is not gonna be open until you guys do a new deck. That's basically what he said.
More or less, how much is a new deck? Since you already.
I
did
would
the pool.
say about $50,000. At that time was like four.
For bids.
The lowest was 74,200, something like that, 74,200.
Same idea, we can get legitimate contractors that do concrete type of work to give us a price, just to see where we're at. Because again, that problem's not going away.
No, it's gonna be worse.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah, it's just gonna get worse and
It's gonna
worse.
get better.
It's been cracking everywhere, we've been cutting the concrete and redo and everything, but every time you cut, it holds for a little bit, like a year and a half, and then it moves. And then,
So get new bids, is that what we're saying?
If you'd like to make a motion to get bids to look into that and see if we can find funding to make that project happen, or if we get creative to figure something out to make it
I
happen.
second the motion.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And one last thing. Since I've been on board, I've been walking around looking at the equipment. I've asked for the conditions, that kind of stuff on all of our equipment that we have in our yard. Hate to say it, but we're really working with some old dilapidated equipment that needs to be either put to sleep or look into something different. We have a lot of machinery out there that is not in operation. I have a dump truck that's not in operation. We have a big excavator back there sitting, it's been sitting for a long time. So there's a need for equipment. I don't know how to tackle this.
Do we,
Go ahead.
do we have to put those out for bid? Does that have to be bid on, or can we just sell them?
Depends on the cost. If it's under $25,000, you don't have to do a competitive bid, but you can.
Yeah.
It really is depending on how much equipment, what you're looking at. If equipment is highly specialized and there's only one vendor in the area, You could also avoid an RFP if you, it really depends on the specifics.
That backhoe's been here, we're not gonna use it. And the longer it sits, the less we're gonna get for it. So that's what I was.
Oh, you mean the cell?
The sell it, yeah. get
Oh,
rid of it.
yeah, you don't.
I thought before they said we had to use that.
No, so what's called is, it's called surplus.
Yeah.
So when government wants to sell an asset purchased with taxpayer money, you have to go through, it's called the surplus process for stuff, for this kind of equipment. For real estate, it's a very involved process. If you're gonna let go publicly, for equipment, it's not a big deal.
So we need a motion to.
It's a matter of
seal
public
back.
notice.
And the reason I bring this up, board, is because there've been a few times where our crew has not been able to work because there's not been nothing operational. That can't be so if we're in the lawn business, maintaining culverts, maintaining roadways, swales. We can't have that without operating equipment.
Yeah, but then we're gonna mechanic.
Excuse me?
Is it no time for mechanic?
At this time, yes. He said, do we have a mechanic?
Mr. Knuckles?
Why don't we move to have the manager create a list of the equipment that is operational and equipment that is not, and determine
I think he's
how
done
to
that.
proceed?
Prioritize.
Don't we have a list already?
He's done that several
Okay.
times.
So why don't you present the list to the board
What do you need?
and see if we just sell all that equipment that is either no good or we don't need?
Okay. I can do that.
Next meeting.
Do that. That's it.
Is that okay? Okay, all the new business, election of board chair and vice chair. I would like to nominate Mr. Knuckles as chair. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second?